It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to another Star Trek Playmates Toys news update. I haven't done one of these in a while because there just hasn't been any news. I am starting work on part 5 of the Star Trek Playmates retrospective. It's been taking me a little longer. I've had some trips coming up, and it's just delayed the production, but we are going to be rolling into that in the very near future. But the new Playmates line is upon us, and there is a little bit of news. Now, I didn't do this initial piece of news because there was a website that came out for the Playmates line. Gosh, that was back in April. And I just didn't get around to doing a video on it. But we're going to do that today because we also have pictures of the physical toys from MCM London, which just happened this past weekend, I believe. And so we're going to look at those. This is from Toy News International. They posted there's 5 photos, there's not much, but these look either close to final or at least are packaging samples for the figures. I would hope they're close to final considering these are still slated for a July release, but these could not be final still. But this sort of confirms what we saw in the packaging images that we looked at in the last news update. And yeah, let's talk about it. So here's the first picture. Let's just go look at it closer. We've got, Riker and Picard here. Riker's kind of in the foreground, so let's look at him. So we see we got that sort of retro packaging. What's interesting here is that we have those sort of retro-looking accessories that we did see in the renders, but with these, they look a little different than the originals. They're still very similar in a lot of ways, but they don't look like the exact same. But they, we got warped phaser beams coming out of phasers, and for the most part, they're very similar. Sadly, they still have the generic Starfleet action base. Again, not a super huge fan of that because I did like the variety of the original, but there will be some uniformity between the different lines, which is cool. But looking at Riker here, I mean, now that we're starting to see, this is the first, I think, physical sample. We've pretty much just been seeing renders and stuff. This is the first in-hand pictures. I think the proportions have turned out really nice. I think the final, assuming these are final, these could still be early protos. I think the face detail is looking pretty good. It looks like Riker from a distance, and that's ultimately what's going to be best for these figures. We'll look at a different picture of Picard in a minute. Next up, we got Burnham, and Burnham got a closer shot here by herself. It looks like, same accessories that we saw from the previous packaging images, but her book doesn't have the detail on it for the Alice in Wonderland cover, so maybe that's something there. Maybe it's just reversed in the package. Her eyes are kind of, staring at you from beyond. We'll see if that, again, turns out like that on the final product, but overall the body proportions seem a lot better. Seems like now that they're more in a physical sense with the plastic, the proportions have kind of worked themselves out a lot better. They look good. Burnham's eyes are a little horrifying, but we will see how that goes. Here is the box for the Enterprise. This is different. So if you guys may have remembered from the previous video, which if you haven't seen that, go check it out and come back to this one. I had mentioned how the packaging for the Enterprise was the literal exact same minus 2 or 3 little details. And I felt like that was kind of a problem, not just for, hey, it's on the store shelves, it may not look new, but also when you're looking for it later, which one is the original. This is definitely clearing all that up because this is a different packaging completely. So this is what I mean by these are probably closer to final because that's a completely different box. I think it looks better. I like the Star Trek Universe branding. The retro cards for the other figures is fine, but I think for this stuff, having the, more Star Trek Universe style, much better. Definitely looks a lot more eye-grabbing, I think, for a modern audience, which is good because you need to get not just the people who collected back in the day, but you need to get new people. And yeah, it looks like, it says the Try Me on the back panel, so they might have had it, I don't know how the back of this looks, but the Enterprise may be facing out the back instead of the front. But I think it looks much better than just straight up recreating the old box. Also, here's Saru. Once again, they had the Discovery characters out front. Saru looks good. I think the face looks, again, his eyes seem lessened, whereas Burnham's were more wide. But honestly, I think he looks great. The proportions really worked out. Seeing, this looks like a production piece because it's sealed in. There's no stamps to mark like pre-production. These probably are final. And yeah, I mean, it looks like the hands can hold things on Burnham and Saru, which is a good thing. But yeah, I mean, he's looking good. He's looking better. Here's another shot of the two next-gen guys. You can also see down here in the corner, the classic phaser box is using the Star Trek Universe design, not the old Playmates box design. So I'm cool with that too. That totally works for me. There's not really a good angle of Picard to really look at him, but I mean, he looks pretty much the same. Oh, I did notice. If you look at, so we'll really zoom in here. If you look at Riker's hands, they seem slightly resculpted because I don't think they were in that. Oh, no, I don't know now. Because I remember that we talked about the hands didn't look like they actually could hold accessories. So I'm going to go pull up those old images, or not old images. I mean, it's not even been that long. Yeah, no, Riker's hands are definitely different. So if I pull in this, you guys can see here, this was the prototype when they first revealed these. You can see the hands look like they can't hold anything. Like one is just flat open, the other's kind of like maybe holds a phaser. But if you look at the hands here on the final for Riker, those are definitely like gripping hands, which is great. Like, you're not going to do swappable hands, that's fine. These are basic figures. At least let them hold the accessories. It looks like they fixed that. So that's good. Let's see, did Picard get the updated hands as well? Let's see, this shot's a little bit better. Let's see if we can zoom back into... Yeah, I mean, Jean-Luc had the best head sculpt, I thought, of the next-gen ones, and he still looks great. Yeah, it looks like Picard as well. Like, if we again pull this up in real time, because, hey, you know what? Sometimes you plan things out, and sometimes you don't. So, yeah, looking at this here, I mean, again, he had like a sort of phaser hand and a sort of just open hand, but now it's been changed to two holding hands. I'm assuming, I imagine they're doing that now. It does look like they are the same mold almost, like body-wise. No, Picard does look a little shorter. Yeah, no, they're definitely different molds. That's a good thing. Yeah, so I mean, when you're looking at it, in terms of like the pictures, so that's the only 5 we got. I wish we had more. They've definitely seemed to have improved some stuff. I definitely see improvement in the hands, which is good. That alleviates some worry. The faces look all right. The bodies definitely look much better. So yeah, I mean, in terms of, hey, these are probably close to final, I'd be happy with these if these were final. Because I don't think they're too much of a step down from the prototypes. They're actually a step up in a lot of ways. Maybe, some of the faces have less paint or less detail, which is just how toy production works. But the hands look like they can hold things, and the bodies are better proportioned. And maybe seeing them just standing straight, not kind of like weirdly posed like they were in those prototypes. I'm liking this, and I'm excited to see more. These, I feel like, made a better impression. Seeing these physical versions made a better impression than the prototypes. The prototypes are a little wonky, but I'm excited to see more. Data and the Rathacon trio apparently weren't on display. Like, I don't see them like sticking out in any of these photos. Yeah, it was just those 4 figures and then the ship and the phaser. So, hey, cool stuff. But adding to that, we have a new website. And by new website, I mean a website that looks really old in the best way. This is very cool. And so basically, here's the Star Trek universe. It's at playmatesstartrektoys.com. I'll leave a link down below. It has this cool, like, little incoming transmissions part here where it says the new series Strange New Worlds is now premiering on Paramount Plus. It says Star Trek Prodigy on Nickelodeon. Gotta wait for it to scroll across. July 8th. So, I don't remember about that. I know it was premiering in the UK, but apparently July 8th it's premiering on Nickelodeon US, I'm assuming. Start your Star Trek experience. I wish it was Star Trek The Experience. Here, figures available this summer. So, yeah, basic stuff there. There is this little box here. It says Q comments on. We'll get to that in a moment. The other thing I want to point out, down here, there's a customized cursor. You see below engaged. You can see them moving. For some reason on my screen share, it doesn't show the cursor. But basically, you can click one of these icons. You either get the DS9 Voyager, the Generations DS9 Voyager badge, the Next Generation DS9 badge, for some reason, the Discovery Admiral badge, the Discovery Command, and the Discovery that's Science. Discovery Science. So you can select a cursor and then you move it around. It's like a little comm badge moving across the screen. It's kind of cute. Anyways, we got the LCARS computer network, authorized access only, awaiting input, and then we're going to hit engage.
This computer terminal provides full access to the LCARS computer network. It can be operated by keypad commands. Access granted.
Must you be so linear, so boring?
So anyways, with Q comments on, you'll get Q popping up all the time to tell you what's what. And hopefully you can hear all these sounds. I'm trying not to like play them too loud, but anyways, so now it says all systems are all functioning normally. So we click characters.
Specify search parameters. Search mode activated. Starbase 74.
So it's pretty cool. I especially like a lot of the designs. So this basically got the Wave 1 characters, so if you click on one of them.
Admiral James T. Kirk.
So it does keep playing the sounds all the time, so I'm just going to mute it for a moment. But yeah, basically, you get a picture of the figure, a little bio, tells you what accessories it comes with, that sort of thing. We'll click the zoom in part here, and it should load us a nice picture of Kirk. That's, again, the prototype. Same image as we saw before, but they actually have a 3D turnaround. So, I mean, that's definitely the prototype, and they definitely look weird, because I think they've definitely tweaked them for the final. This one, I'm hoping the Wrath of Khan figure is a little shorter in legs. Now, while we could sit here and do this all day, we're just gonna close out of it. Now, it does have links that says Walmart, Target, and Amazon. If you click one, it says Star Trek products will be available at these retailers soon. So if you click Amazon, it's not gonna give you anything because those pages aren't up yet. So his description, biography. Biography will give you, here's Kirk's biography. I mean, there's that. Now, it's kind of confusing, but basically next to Walmart over here, you can see there's a 32 back. So you go back.
Captain Spock.
Oh, we missed Q. So there's Spock. I'm not really going to go through all of the super big details because mostly just the pictures we've seen. But the difference is that, they're there. Just wait, see if Q pops up. Q will pop up randomly. It's not so, straightforward. But anyways, let's click Con. Yeah, so there's Con.
Such inferior beings.
Thanks, Q. Anyways, it should be. I hope Q pops up for Jean-Luc. Let's see.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
So yeah, basically, see, I'm trying not to talk too much because I'm afraid Q will pop up. But anyways, what's kind of neat about it is that you can go through. It's very old school website, but you can kind of look at each of the figures that way, and I think that's pretty neat.
The answers you are looking for are no, no, and no.
Okay, so apparently I didn't know what question I was asking. But anyways, we'll click through the rest of these. And we got data.
Commander data.
Pretty cool, and...
The Continuum doesn't think you have it in you, but I'm on your side. Sort of.
Well, thank you, Q. That was the nicest thing you said to me all day.
Science Officer Michael Burnham.
Leave? Now? Well, I don't know. I just got here. I mean, we're not even to the fun part yet.
That's true. We aren't to the fun part. And let's just click on Saru for good measure.
Commander Saru.
All right, so going back to the main nav, we can click ships.
Specify search parameters. Search mode activated.
And you can also skip these if you want these to go up and faster. All right, so we got USS Enterprise. Now what's cool here is that under this, you get description, ship's log, and ship's log is just like the story, but you click blueprint and you can actually download this blueprint image of the Enterprise, which is one of those little cross sections, which is pretty cool. So we'll go back to the main nav, we'll go to gear.
Specify search parameters. Search mode activated.
I'm here to add a little excitement, a little spice. Olay.
John Delancey will always crack me up as Q, but the fact they got him to record so much stuff for this website is amazing. So good job, Playmates, like getting John Delancey for this.
Original series phaser.
Now what's interesting here is we got a little more detail on it because it says set phaser dial to full, stun, or overload, and it's got original sound effects, which is pretty cool. I think there's only, oh yeah, we have a turnaround. And then the turnaround shows all the screws on the opposite side of it. Or actually, that's the side they keep showing us. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, it looks fine. But moving along, we got history.
Specify search parameters. Search mode activated.
So under history, what's kind of neat is that we actually have Star Trek history as well as Playmates Toys archive ads. So with this, you got like videos like the Meet the Cast of Strange New Worlds, but if you click Star Trek Generation Ships, Figures, and Roleplay,
Message from Starfleet. Coming
One corner of our galaxy is a...
it plays the Cool Generations ad. What's really neat here is that they've uploaded some of these things, like they got the Star Trek Triple Tribbles scratch-off promotion commercial. They've got the Inner Space mini playsets commercial. So there's some stuff that have been harder to find, like those two in particular I couldn't find in my research. So it's pretty cool. So they got some of the Paramount Plus videos, but they also got their own, which is really awesome. Clicking content.
Specify search parameters.
Content just basically gives you, details on trailers for the different Star Trek things. Nothing too complicated. But clicking the Prodigy button, all it does is just say coming soon and plays the Prodigy theme, which I'm going to turn off because it will flag. But basically the Prodigy theme, and then it shows the figures coming, which, let's see, let me mute my speakers and we can look at it closer. But you see basically, Del, Jankum, Zero, Gwyn, and Janeway coming in October, and none of these are linked yet, so those will probably come later. But yeah, so I mean, the website's pretty cool. We're missing Q. I don't know what he said. But anyways, I think he said see you out there. But when it comes to this website, it's pretty awesome. I like it. It's just neat to have. It's neat to have like a website that's kind of a destination for things. I don't know if we're going to get any like news from this that we wouldn't get from like retailers, but I definitely appreciate the effort, because there definitely was a lot of effort put into this, because I mean, look at it. It's designed like an LCARS thing, and the whole history section, and Q popping up. It's really fun, and I implore you to check it out because it's kind of just holding us off until we get some more news. And on that, if you want to keep up with the news on this line, I will be doing more videos like this in the future. So hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, hit the like button while you're down there, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and what you'd like to see covered on the channel in terms of Star Trek beyond Playmates even, just because I like doing Star Trek stuff, because I love Star Trek. And that's pretty much it. So check out HeroClub at hero-club.com for news and more. And my awesome graphic designer on Twitter, darklaw643. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, live long and prosper.